Views expressed in this podcast are solely those of the participants. The hosts make no claim to be literary experts, and their opinions are exactly that, opinions. All creative works discussed or reviewed are the intellectual property of the creators of said stories and is being used under the Fair Use Doctrine.
A podcast where we read, watch, and discuss romantasy stories. I'm one of your hosts, Mari, and with me I have Kelly.
Hey everyone, it's Kelly. We also have Ashley.
Hey guys, it's Ashley. We also have Jonathan.
It's the most wonderful time. What's
Not
good, everybody?
Yet.
Oh no! For those who don't understand that reference. It's the Holiday Spectacular?
The Grinch?
Yeah. Yes.
Was it just called the Grinch Show, or what is it?
It's
the Holiday Spectacular.
Okay. At Universal, yeah. It's from that. Very, very niche. And yet, it ties in to some of the stuff we're going to be talking about today. So we're going to be discussing Wicked, the movie, based on the book by Gregory Maguire. But first, as always, some news. Lots of news today.
So much news.
So much news. And I'm sure I still forgot stuff, so if you guys want to add things, feel free. First thing I have is that LitJoy has opened pre-orders for their version of The Prisoner's Throne by Holly Black. So
Ooh.
LitJoy had done the Folk of the Air series, and so this is the second book of this little mini duology that came after that, the Stolen Air series. So this is the completion of all that. They're all beautiful. They all match. It's $50, and it's set to ship out in September of next year, September of 2026.
That doesn't seem like a bad price.
No, it's so pretty. That version, to me, the LitJoy version of that book is the prettiest versions of that series. Because there's been several versions of like cool prints and all that stuff, but I think their version's the prettiest. Next is that there's been a cover reveal for Adversary to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. The cover design is by Elizabeth Turner Stokes, and the book itself will be released August 4th of next year, 2026.
Which is really fast.
It does feel fast. Yeah.
Who was the artist again?
Elizabeth Turner Stokes.
Now, has she done the art for her other books? Because it looks fairly. It looks like it's. When I see this book, I think the spine's going to match. It's going to be the same shape, size. It's going to have. I like the style in which she does the edges are like, I like a solid color edge.
Yeah, which this one does. It's like a pink edge, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm on the Elizabeth Turner Stokes Instagram page, and she has Assistant to the Villain here, so she at least did that one. I don't know if she did all of them, but she's got Assistant to the Villain on her page as one that she did. So maybe she didn't do all of them, but she did that one. And
but the books all match as far as size and art seem to present.
Oh yeah,
and so for that I've been.
What was that, Kelly?
The most important thing is that the books are all the same size with the same fonts and lettering and orientation.
1000%.
Yeah, I'm so happy because my usual example of that is the newest Travis Baldree book, The Brigands and Bread Knives or whatever. Like all the Legends and Latte books have come out in paperback, and then this one that came out in hardcover, and there was no sign of when the paperback was going to come, and I refused to buy it.
Oh no!
Because the rest of mine are paperback. They just announced when the paperback will be released, and it will be released. I think it's like in April. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm getting it then. It's fine.
It's good that they listen to the people.
Yeah. I like if it's a series, I like it to match. Not everything from the same author has to be the same, obviously, but like if it's a series, come on.
I mean, that's a reasonable expectation, by the way.
I think
it pisses off a lot of fans when they deviate from, patterns and such. Like I've seen a lot of people with like the Crescent City series by Sarah J. Maas, and it's, the two really large paperbacks and then this giant hardback that's like 3 inches taller. and just a completely different, shape and style compared to the paperbacks.
So unnecessary.
It's so rude. Yeah.
Speaking of more cover reveals, Olivia Dade has announced or has revealed the cover for her latest book coming up, which is The World's Okayest Oracle Reluctantly Seeks Demon. And that's the sequel. I know, but it is a mouthful. It's a sequel to Zom Rom-Com, which I very much enjoyed this year. The cover design for this one is by Lenai. I am so sorry. Leni is the first name. Kaufman's the last name. It's the same person who did the artwork for Rom-Com as well. So that book is going to release August 11th, 2026. August is going to be a busy month next year.
All right.
Does this take place in the same? Okay. And are they two different characters, or did one move on?
No, it's separate characters. But these characters are mentioned in the first book. Like, I recognize them from the first book.
Oh.
So it's rom-com that haven't read it. It's like, it's post-apocalyptic. The zombie apocalypse has happened. And there's like magical elements in the world. There's like whatever, vampires, witches, zombies. I mean, if there's zombies, of course, there's everything else. And it's a bit absurd. Like at one point, there's Girl Scouts in this book. It's just,
yes.
Stop it.
It is all over the place in the best way possible. I like Olivia Dade's writing style anyways. I've read, I believe everything she's written up until Zom Rom-Com, at least everything published, is contemporary romance. I've read, I think, all of them, and I've enjoyed them. And so I was very excited to read Zom Rom-Com when it came out, to the point that after I read it, I messaged her through her website. She's not on any social media. I was like, I really like your books.
It's almost like this metaphor for like post-pandemic life after, because like if you think about like what their occupations are in Zom Rom-Com and then it's plausible today. Like, yeah, there's some
you basically when there's the alarm goes off and zombies are happening, you hole up in your house, and so both these people have jobs / things they can do from home and still interact, like online, Instagrammer type influencer, or like making crafts in your basement kind of thing. Those are their jobs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a good story. I definitely didn't fall in love with it until like probably about a third of the way into it, but it was a good story.
Yeah. The next thing I have is, I think, I don't remember if it was, I know it was you guys, either Jonathan or Ash, one of you guys sent this to me, that author L.J. Andrews had posted that they had suffered a fire in where they kept their inventory that ended up affecting like a lot of their signed copies, their swag, their special editions. And it also happened to be like their sister's house.
Yeah.
Nobody got hurt, but items and, of course, somebody's home was destroyed.
And I think this is more because like L.J. Andrews is going to survive. Like when she posted this, it was more about like, hey, also this is my sister's house.
Right. By the way, L.J. Andrews is doing, through their website, they have a donation spot, and there's also a GoFundMe. So if you can throw something that way, if that's something that you can and want to do to help out, then that would be the way to help out that situation. And also just getting it out there. If you have anything you're waiting for L.J. Andrews to ship you, if you've bought something or pre-ordered something or whatever, like, give grace. There's a lot that's been going on with that. If you're waiting on like a signed book or special edition or stuff, swag or whatever, like this is what's going on there.
Right.
It's likely also a good way to indirectly to support directly, but like if you're like, hey, if you're not in that giving, or if you want to like double give, like what you could do is buy a book and gift it to a friend.
Right.
Every little thing helps, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. The next tidbit I have is that B.K. Borison, who we've talked about in the past, has released information about their sequel to Good Spirits. So it's apparently going to be called the Ghosted series. The sequel is going to be called Grim Tidings. It will release fall of 2026. We haven't read Good Spirits. We're going to be reading it, spoiler, we're going to be reading it for the Christmas season, for the December season, for the podcast. So can't tell you anything about it yet. Other than there's a sequel coming out already. Like there's not a hard release date, and there's no picture or anything for the cover, and there's no blurb. It's just, it's coming, basically.
I imagine, my guess is fall 2026, October. This is probably, maybe this is like a
1 year cycle.
A Halloweeny kind of.
Well, but did Good Spirits not come out in October?
It came out a couple weeks ago, I thought.
Or was it November?
I'm not sure. But it's definitely
I'm pulling it up right now. So Good Spirits released on, because I know it's out already. I just hadn't read
Tuesday.
It
was a Tuesday.
Oh, imagine that. October 21st. So maybe it's like a 1 year cycle.
Oh.
Impressive.
Yeah. I mean, it gives people time to read it before the busy holiday season. You know, like I like to wait till closer to end of November, December to read like those holiday books. But some people just read them early. So nothing wrong with that.
Ooh, I hope it's oh no, that's what we're reading. Never mind. I'm so sorry.
It's that author. So
yeah, I was like, it was.
It's like a Christmas Carol thing. So it would be interesting if it's like the different ghosts. Maybe each book is a different one of the different ghosts from Christmas Carol.
Way
I'm
to
totally
go, Mari. Way
here.
to connect it. No, I mean, that sounds, yes. Ooh, I'm going to have to pay attention more now.
Because if I'm thinking grim tidings, I'm thinking the ghost of Christmas future that could be. That's the one that was the grim tiding. That's the one that had all the death, symbology in it, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
You guys are so smart.
I love that. I love Christmas Carol. I love that story a lot. So I could probably, like if the apocalypse happened and we were sitting around a fire, I could probably tell you the story in a close way. All right, next bit of news. There is a company called Wow9 that is doing, and I've seen this over several social media and websites and whatnot. It's an Advent book, not an Advent calendar. It's a book, and it's divvied up by day. So you have like parts of the story that happen that you read every day throughout the month of December. And at the end, you've read a little like holiday book. And there's 3 different ones you can get. There's like a YA one. There's like a traditional, I think, contemporary romance one. And there's one that's got a little bit of a time jumpy element to it, like a Miracle on 34th Street kind of vibe. It seems like a really cool idea to me. There's $32.99. I don't know anything about this company. I've never bought anything from the company, but it seemed like a really cool concept, like a different take on the Advent calendar.
Oh yeah, this is really neat.
Right? I mean, all it is a way of making you only read a little bit per day. You could do the same with any book you own. But I like that. Technically.
It's aligned with the 24 chapters, like one for each December all the way up. There are, I'll text you with like an off the record book that a lot of people do that with.
Okay. That'd be good. I'm down. Yeah, but I thought that was a really interesting, because I've seen several like book related Advent calendars. I love an Advent calendar.
I love an Advent calendar.
Especially something that's not stuff. That's kind of like a consumable Advent calendar where it's like tea or chocolate or, cheese. We did a cheese Advent calendar. Aldi's had cheese Advent calendars. Did that one year. Stuff like that where it's just like you don't have a bunch of tchotchkes or things to have to find a place for, at the end of the month. It's just you enjoy the experience of whatever the thing is. Like Jeannie did, I don't know if she does this every year, but one year they did like experiences. So there was like a little like scrap of paper in every day of the Advent calendar, and they did an experience, and it could be something as small as like lighting a candle, or it could be like going ice skating, or putting together a gingerbread house or whatever. Just something to touch base, to be together or whatever. To celebrate for like the winter season. So next bit that I have is from Allie Hazelwood. So she's released a book. I think it's the first time she's done this. I don't know a lot of authors that do this, but it's an audio first only. So you can't read this with your eyeballs anywhere. So she's doing it with Spotify, but it's also available on like anywhere you can buy audiobooks. It's called Bound, Bound, and it's a dark academia by Allie Hazelwood, but it's an audiobook.
Interesting.
I am intrigued. I will probably listen to it at some point. I've not listened to it yet. But I like Dark Academia. I like Ellie Hazelwood. And something that is produced first and primarily for audio should be a good listening experience, I would think.
It's definitely an interesting take.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel now that she was on the other foot? Now that the letters are on the other ear.
The letters are on the other ear. You're so silly.
Now that the turns have tabled.
Exactly.
I have never been anti-audiobook.
I know you're a big audiobook supporter.
However you can get the story, however you enjoy the story, I don't think it matters how you get it. So, but I'm intrigued by that. I think it'll be an interesting read. Also, Ellie Hazelwood has been busy, very busy. There's something that she's teasing on her Instagram page. No real information. It's this like logo that says AH squared, like H2O, whatever, but it's AH, and the 2 is very little in the upper right-hand corner. AH2 2026 collection, and it's got like flowers around the outside, and people are speculating what it is. And she's like, coming soon.
What's she up to?
I don't know.
That's suspicious.
It's a collection. So is it another like Kickstarter thing? Like what, her and, oh God, what was her name? Adriana.
I'm bad at
sorry.
Like the one that just popped out?
Yeah.
It's not I wanted to say like a compendium, but that's not what it is. Like a compilation?
Yeah, well, yeah, a collection at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
So are they doing another one of those maybe? I don't know.
Maybe.
Either way, something's coming.
Great. I thought that model was great. All the collection of novellas, and I thought I enjoyed hers and Ruby Dixon's probably the most.
Are you talking about the scared ones? The one.
Yeah.
Okay, I know. I'm talking about the other ones.
Oh.
The ones that were like post-apocalyptic romance. Remember we talked about those? It was Kickstarter.
Oh yeah, that was yeah. Okay, one was on Kickstarter. One was on
Amazon.
Yes.
Yeah. The scared ones. What were they called? Scared Sexy, I think.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah. We read. I think between you and me, we may have read all of them. I don't know if anybody else has read any of them.
I did not get to them.
They're fun. They're not specifically Halloween. You could really read them anytime. I thought they were good. I did buy the ebook and audio of the collection I can't think of, the one that Ellie Hazelwood did with the other author. I just haven't read any of them yet because it does get away from me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's got something coming. Don't know what it is, but there's something new coming.
I appreciate the hype.
I know.
She's creating some hype.
Yeah. Figure out what she's got coming. Next bit I had was a article in Vogue Australia, written by Karen Leong, Leong, and the article is called "Why Pop Culture Loves Monsters and What It Says About Us."
What does it say about us?
It's a great question. And it basically talks about the success of like the Frankenstein movie and the Nosferatu movie and more like monster romance and monsters in fantasy kind of becoming a bigger, more mainstream kind of thing. And one of the people they interviewed was basically said that fantasy, this is Christine Rafey from Love Honey. She's a sex wellness expert that was interviewed for the article, and says, fantasy is a really healthy and safe way to explore desire, power, and identity, to tap into something novel, transgressive, and taboo. They, as in like the monsters, are intense, unpredictable, and unapologetically different.
Hear, hear.
Yeah. And then another quote from that I thought was interesting from that article is, in a world of perfect-looking people with perfect-looking lives online, the allure of monsters is that they're a refreshing take on human attraction that strips away the prejudice of beauty standards and societal expectations. It forces you to face a mirror to your own beliefs in a way that's quite beautiful, really.
I'm feeling really called out, though.
Let me just say, let me call you out further. We're now talking about a generation with purchasing power that was raised on Beauty and the Beast, The Little Mermaid. Mm-hmm. You know, those sweet type of like monsters. And now that they're adults and have grown into their own and are still living in this very interesting world, they can tell the stories or seek out those comfortable forms of expression.
Yeah.
In a more mature way.
Yeah.
Mature.
Like, to me, I will say the same thing I said at the Monster Romance panel that I did with Sarah from Hissing and Kissing at DragonCon. To me, monsters romance, a big allure of the monster romance is the idea that, like, if a monster can find love, if a monster can be loved, if there's someone out there for a monster, then there's hope for all of us. We all deserve love.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, what do we used to say in school? There's an ass for every seat.
Yeah.
Jonathan had to put it in boy real quick. Sorry.
That's translation.
Okay. Next bit, I think the last bit of news I have is Hannah F. Witten, who wrote the Wilderwood series For the Wolf and the Foxglove King and a few other books. She's releasing a new book. She was actually at RomanticyCon, but I think she was just there on Friday because I didn't realize she was just there one day. And I was like, oh, I didn't buy her book. I was going to buy it from her, but I had to buy it from the bookstore. And I was like, oh, I'm going to get it from the bookstore and get her to sign it. But I did that. I planned to do that second day and she was gone.
Oh.
Yeah. But her books are like kind of, if you like One Dark Window, you might like her books. So
I like One Dark Window.
Yeah, kind of dark, kind of like dark folktale kind of vibes.
Okay.
Yeah. So she is coming out with a new book that I don't think it's a traditional fantasy book. It's called Reliquary. It's a psychological fiction is what it's being categorized as. It releases August 11th, 2026. I don't know that it'll be like the traditional fantasy books that we think of, but the reason I'm mentioning it is because she's doing a thing now where every a dollar from every pre-order of that book will be split between Raíces charity organization and World Central Kitchen charity organization. Yeah, which I don't know a ton about Raíces, but World Central Kitchen is a very good organization. It helps feed like emergency workers and people after like natural disasters and political, man-made and natural disasters all around the world. Like you could basically know what's going on and be up to date on the news if you just follow their social media pages and they'll tell you where they're at. Like, oh, we're in Puerto Rico now, like after Hurricane Maria. Oh, we're in here now after this hurricane, or we're here after this political unrest. Everywhere that there's something going on, they're there.
Yeah, they do really important, really good work.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought that was really neat. I don't know her story. I don't know why she's choosing this. It may have something to do with the story of that particular book. I'm not sure. Or if something else happened, I don't know why. But she's doing that. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. So I thought I would mention that on here.
Agreed.
Yeah. Any other news? Anybody want to mention?
I don't think I have news.
I'm fresh out.
Yeah.
I try to make sure I get you all the quality news.
Yeah, and I try and post it all, or keep it in one place to post. The only thing I didn't, that we may have talked about that I didn't post to talk about today, because I think we talked about last time we did news, is that Sword and Sparrow sequel, like cover has been released. But I want to say we talked about that because it was really pretty. I feel like we talked about it.
I think I remember talking about it. Yeah.
Did we mention the Goodreads voting?
We did not. Shield of Sparrows. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Shield of Sparrows sequel book cover has been announced. Yeah, Goodreads is doing their where you start to pick the vote on the categories, like best horror, best YA, all that stuff. So if you have an opinion, or if you've read a lot in one category, which you don't have to vote in every category. If all you've read is like horror books this year or whatever, you can just vote in that one category. But it's the 2025 Goodreads Choice Awards, and it's on now that you can go through and vote on the different categories. Plus, if nothing else, it's also a good way, if there's a category that you're particularly interested in, it's a good way to be like, oh, maybe you want to try and read these before these particular books before the end of the year. That way you'll have an opinion on what wins the Goodreads, whether you thought it should or shouldn't or whatever.
I think they all should win.
Yeah.
It's been that kind of year.
Yeah. I would say there are a lot of good books being nominated. So in the romantasy specific category, since that's the main one we focus on, I'm just going to read the titles. Direbound by Sable Sorensen, Accomplice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Marer, Mate by Ali Hazelwood, Immortal by Su Lin Tan, Bonds of Hercules by Jasmine Moz, Rose in Chains by Julie Soto, Our Vicious Oaths by N.E. Davenport, Enchantra by Kaylee Smith, Alchemized by Senlin Yu, The Songbird and the Heart of Stone by Carissa Broadbent, Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry, The Wrath of the Fallen Gods by Amber Nicole, The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy by Bridget Knightley, On Wings of Blood by Briar Bolin, Emily Wild's Compendium of Lost Tales by Heather Fawcett, Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros, Silver Elite by Danny Francis, A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana, The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, and Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. That is quite a lineup.
That is, I don't know how I pick.
Right.
I haven't even read most of those, and I was mildly concerned about that when it says to me about being on a podcast, but I haven't read most of those. I've read a lot of books, but I haven't read most of those. And I would be absolutely petrified to pick because I've heard so many great things about Direbound, which I haven't read. Sable Sorensen is actually a duo, if I'm not mistaken, and they were at Romanticycon. And I didn't get a chance to meet them. I was sad. So I have not read Direbound. I have not read what's the book that you just said that we were just talking about? Shield of Sparrows? Shield of Sparrows, which was raved about
I very much enjoyed it.
Long. And it's desperately on my TBR. I just ran out of TBR. I have Rose and Chains sitting next to my bed. I just haven't gotten to it yet. So like these are, I don't know, like can you vote more than once?
I wish.
I mean, that's how you're going to pick a winner.
Yeah.
At least they can't vote more than once.
Yeah.
Because that would be, I feel like it would be debilitating.
Yeah, it's a hard choice. It is a difficult choice for sure. It was a lot of good books released this year, and I think there's going to be a lot of good books released next year, which is great for us.
Yeah,
as readers.
It's definitely grown like exponentially this year, and I'm so stoked about it.
Yeah, same. Any other tidbits?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So we're going to go into talking about Wicked, which we mainly wanted to talk about Wicked, kind of like the franchise as a whole, because the sequel to the movie is set to release November 21st, which this episode is set to release November 20th, I do believe. So basically, if you listen to this when it's released, then tomorrow you can watch Wicked, the sequel, which is Wicked for Good is what it's called. So we're going to talk about mainly the movie, Wicked, and a little bit about the experience at Universal, the Wicked experience at Universal, a little bit about the musical, a little bit about the book. And we all have different experiences on all of it, but just kind of a little bit of everything. The movie Wicked was released November 22nd of last year, of 2024. There are lots of synopses, but this is a synopsis I chose. It's short and to the point. Elphaba, a young woman ridiculed for her green skin, and Glinda, a popular girl, become friends at Shiz University in the Land of Oz. After an encounter with the wonderful Wizard of Oz, their friendship reaches a crossroads.
You know what? That's accurate.
Yeah. I will say the whole thing, if you don't know, is based off of The Wizard of Oz, which is a L. Frank Baum book written in 1900. It's The Wizard of Oz. It's a whole series, which I have never actually read the children's books, The Wizard of Oz, and there's like a series of them. Has anybody read them?
I didn't know it was a series.
No, I'm like super duper afraid of The Wizard of Oz.
Kelly, have you read any of the old ones, like the kids' books?
No, I read the first one.
I think you've read more than any of us then, because I haven't even read the first one.
Kelly wins.
I knew they existed. And they're on my list to read. And I think I only knew they existed because I really like the Return to Oz movie that is creepy and wonderful. It's got a giant pumpkin head that comes to life, a moose head that turns into like a chariot. It's got a empress or sorceress or something who's going to remove her head. She's got a whole closet full of heads that she takes off and on.
Just chilling with some heads.
I mean, Return to Oz has, I'm trying to remember the actress's name. Fairuza Balk plays Dorothy. She was in
The Craft.
The Craft, thank you. I was going to say The Craft, and then Island of Dr. Moreau. She played all those weird characters in like late 90s, early 2000s. But yeah, based off of that book, Gregory Maguire then did a retelling, which is Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West. And that was released in like 1995, which is earlier than I thought. I didn't read it when it was first came out, but I've read it like 20 years ago. I've only read it once, I believe. Once in English, once in Spanish. But it was all around the same time frame, like 20 years ago. It is now a 4-book series, and I've only read 2 of them. And there's also a prequel that just came out this year called Elphaba, I believe. The original book was 26 weeks on the New York Times bestseller, and it sold 5 million copies.
Dang.
Yeah. So after that came out, which the book, Kelly, you've read the book, right? You read Wicked, and I've read Wicked. You guys have not, right, Jonathan Ash?
Have not.
The book is interesting. I remember really, really enjoying the book. I have started to reread it literally just today because I ran out of time. But I started to reread it. And like I said, it's the first time in like 20 years. So it'd be interesting to see what my take on it now will be versus, what I thought about it then. But so far, the book is much darker than I remember.
Yep.
Yeah. And also the book is the movie that came out and the sequel that's coming out tomorrow. Both of those are the first book. So the book was like divided into 2 movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the kind of vibe I got out of the movie too.
I mean, it does.
It mirrors the musical, which had 2 acts.
Right. So then after the book became popular, the musical happened in 2003. The musical is based off of the book, but it does change some things also from the book. It was very well reviewed. It was nominated for 10 Tony Awards. Idina Menzel played Elphaba in the original, run of that. And she won for Best Actress. She won a Tony for Best Actress. And then the show won for Best Scenic Design and Best Costume Design, which it deserved all that. Like, Kelly and I didn't see it on Broadway, but we saw it in Atlanta when it was touring. And it was like watching a movie, some of the special effects they did. Things were flying. Things were coming out of like the sky going down. Their intermission, because it was long, so there's an intermission. The intermission, which is basically the end of the first movie, she's like flying in the middle of the stage with like her cloak billowing that turns into like the entire background of the stage. It is transformative.
I was going to say magical.
Yeah. If ever you get the chance to see musical done, to see the Wicked musical done, I highly recommend it. It's a good show. And then the Wicked movie is based off of the musical. And that's the one that we're mainly talking about. That was released in 2024. Yeah. It received 10 nominations, the 97th Academy Awards, including Best Picture. It won for Best Costume Design and Best Production Design. And it grossed $758 million on a $150 million budget, becoming the highest grossing Oz film, the highest grossing musical film adaptation, and the 5th highest grossing film of 2024.
This all makes sense.
It was popular.
Well, the musical really took off and grew very, very popular over, from the time it, originated to when they had multiple touring groups doing it, as well as the Broadway show. And there was like this whole phenomenon. I remember some people going into it on like NPR and stuff, talking about how the whole friendship thing between Glinda and Elphaba, which is very different than what was in the book, but that part of the musical apparently really resonated with female audiences, and that's what kind of drove the musical to becoming increasingly more and more popular and selling out constantly, the tours selling out and everything, and eventually, prompting them to make a movie.
Yeah.
Who runs the world? Girls.
I mean, I think that the musical, the movie did a good job of portraying a lot of the vibe of the musical so far. Like, we haven't seen the second half. We can't speak for the second half. But the first half, I thought, did a wonderful job of portraying like the magic and the otherworldliness that is Oz. And yet also bringing in like some very serious topics into it.
But not nearly as in-depth and politically topical as the book was.
Right. The book was definitely deeper And the book focused on a few different things. I also don't know exactly what's going to happen in the second movie, so I don't want to spoil anything. So I'm going to try not talk about stuff that happened in the second half of the book or the second half of the musical, because that's all happening in the movie that's coming out. But there's definitely way more story to be told. The first movie, though, I think did a great job of setting up lots of things. You guys didn't watch it like at the movie theater, right? It was more recently.
Yeah, no, we watched it at home, so we streamed it.
So what'd you think?
Ashley asked me if I wanted to go to the movies to see the second part, and I said to her, I do not want to go to the movies because I do not feel comfortable emoting with a film in public.
Oh, wow.
As a child, I was extremely afraid of the Wizard of Oz movie. And with this movie, I'm angry about a lot of things in general right now, just like
the world,
the real world.
Yeah. And so when I watched this story play out on the screen, there were a lot of parallels.
Yes, there were.
And to me, it was like, at some point, you're just angry with others, and just kind of watching what's not just the main characters, but what's going on in the background. What are the others doing? How much are the others allowing to happen? And are you equally as guilty? Are you complicit via silence?
Right.
And it's like, where do these characters fit in, and like what's really happening here? I immediately want to be angry at people for referring to Elphaba as the Wicked Witch. Like, there's nothing wicked about her, right? Like, I immediately want to be upset at people who balance that with Glinda the Good. Mm-hmm. Looking at the manipulation of Madame Morrible and the narcissistic behavior of the Wizard of Oz. Let me just break out on Jeff Goldblum real quick.
Sorry. I saw the list. It's going to be good. Buckle up.
Jeff is giving off Chaos Zeus / Ragnarok Grandmaster vibes.
Yes.
To this whole, like,
100%.
Is this his only character now?
It's his only feeling.
Like, let's just typecast him as this narcissistic ruler.
I mean, maybe he has fun playing it, and at this point, he doesn't have to do anything he doesn't want to do.
There comes a point when an actor is just being cast as themselves.
Oh.
So you're seeing that with Jeff Goldblum and Nicolas Cage.
Why didn't you just put the bunny down? Sorry. Jeff is. You know what I like about Jeff though is his cadence and diction.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're almost
musical.
Yeah, it's a drug. I could listen to him read a story, and it doesn't any story. I'd be entertained. Yeah, I don't think so. The Wizard didn't really. You don't get a lot out of him except for this. What I would love to maybe just look at the screen time for Jeff Goldblum. I'm sure it's like just a handful of minutes.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy, but it's so impactful in the story. Everybody wants his attention. You get that vibe throughout the whole thing. You're privileged to get that attention. You get there and you realize, holy shit, it's fake.
Yep.
The other person who I think had minimal screen time, but I feel like is more I think it gets glossed over and is extremely impactful in the story. Nessa Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This is sort of like Anakin, Darth Vader, kind of like you see him and you're like, oh, young character grows into this other thing. And that's sort of like we're seeing Nessa Rose. Was she the Witch of the North?
The East.
No, she's the Witch of the East.
Yeah.
The Witch of the East. Okay.
In the Wizard of Oz movie, she's the legs you see under the house.
Yes. And in this movie, she's the opening scene, right? Where it is that the house takes her out and then and then it's a flashback. Is that accurate? Did I see that correctly?
So the start of the movie, yes, is basically the start of The Wizard of Oz when Dorothy lands in Munchkinland.
Mm-hmm.
And then they flash back. Okay, cool.
And Glinda shows up, confirms that the Wicked Witch is dead, and goes on to kind of tell that story.
I'm not sure if Nessa Rose is wicked.
They never call her wicked.
I will say that Nessa Rose will figure in more if it goes by the book.
If it goes by the musical, she will play a bigger role.
Yeah, she will play a bigger role in the second movie.
But they never call her wicked in the same way they do it to Elphaba, do they?
Not yet.
No. But you remember, it was a PR spin, too. Like, they had to label Elphie as wicked because if the wizard is the best thing ever and she's opposed to the wizard, she must be bad.
Right.
Are you saying that the wizard is like a bigly kind of person and that we have to dehumanize our counterparts in order to turn social structures against them or society against them?
No.
Why
Why would I say that?
I don't let me put words in anyone's mouth here. My goodness. And that maybe that, yeah, this is, I think what's interesting to me is Nessa Rose didn't go to Shiz she didn't go to Shiz to be trained as a witch, did she? She went to Shiz for her post-secondary education.
Right.
As a privileged child. Mm-hmm. But clearly she goes on to become a witch and has to have some sort of formal training, I would assume. I think people are going to have to pick sides. And the people who are going to have to make the most challenging choices are going to be the characters who are closest to this situation. And I struggle to think, and I'm sorry, the same way you feel about serious Mikey Day. What's his name, Ashley?
I don't know who you're talking about.
The guy from who invented Christmas, who played not Charlie Chaplin, Charles Dickens in that movie.
I don't.
The one that I thought looked like Mikey Day.
What am I supposed? I have no idea what you're trying to reference.
That actor. So the same way I feel about that actor is what you're saying?
Is the same way I feel about Ariana Grande.
I understand. I know you've said that before. I didn't have an opinion on Ariana Grande at all. Like, I knew she was like a singer, and that's it. That's all I knew about her before her being cast in this Wicked movie.
And maybe she did such a good job playing Glinda that it pissed me off. Like maybe that
you didn't want to like her.
Yeah, I don't like. Maybe like I'm so disgusted with the fake ass friendship.
The other things.
Yeah, that I'm just like, ooh, maybe I dislike Ariana. If you're out there, I'm sorry. You maybe did such a good job. You're such a fine actress here that you've managed to turn me against you.
Yeah,
in real life.
Just because we hadn't mentioned it, the actress who plays Nessa Rose is Marissa Bode, who I think she did a good job. I will say, in addition to your Nessa Rose, I will raise you Peter Dinklage as Dr. Dillamond, the goat.
Yes.
Shit, was that him?
Yes, it was. Yes.
Amazing job.
Yes. And he's the oppressed.
Yes.
I'm so upset for that goat.
I love Peter Dinklage.
Me too. So in the musical and in the movie, Elphaba is kind of ostracized because she's different, and the Throps, her family kind of wants to keep up appearances. They have, the dad's the governor. There are appearances that need to be kept up. In the book, it's a little darker. Yep. In the book, the dad is a minister, basically, like a preacher. And the day that Elphaba's mom goes into labor, he's like, no, this is not convenient for me. I've got this sermon to do. This isn't happening today. And leaves her. It's dark. And they're like...
Yeah, you can say
it. The way that Elphaba is treated as a baby in the book, I'm sure that in the musical and in the movie it probably would have been the same way, but they were not going to go that dark or that deep into it. But it's the idea, like, the only person that loved Elphaba growing up was the nanny and Nessa Rose. Okay. That's all she had.
And it's made clear in this movie too at the beginning. And tell me if it's the same in the book and in the musical, that Shiz, the journey to Shiz is about Nessa Rose.
100%.
Okay. And it's and Elphaba sent as almost as a caretaker or a secondary.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's just taken advantage of when she arrives.
Yeah, well, I mean, Madame Morrible sees what's happening and decides that she needs to stay, which Michelle Yeoh did an amazing job in that role as well. But Michelle Yeoh does well in everything I've ever seen
And
her in.
everything that she touches. Yeah.
What was she in?
Star Trek,
Shang-Chi.
Couching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Everything Everywhere All at
The
Once.
10 Rings, Shang-Chi.
That too.
Shang-Chi, The 10 Rings. That's probably that's probably where I remember her most from.
She's done very many prolific things. I don't mean to
Has she also done?
diminish what she's done.
Did she do Crazy Rich Asians?
Yes.
And before all this, she was a world-renowned Hong Kong action movie star.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'd like to see how. I feel like her character. She's like the hands. She's boots on the ground. She's like, let's say, a certain person who speaks on behalf of the narcissist.
Yeah.
You know, she's that buffer, that layer between. She's a safety layer on pudding that's been left out too long, keeping the public away from. And maybe not directly, keeping the students or the trainees away as they
I think in a way she was
the schools.
a bit of a spy for the wizard.
I was going to say
Yeah.
she was the sorcerer, like in that she was trying to find the answer that the wizard needed and hope. She found someone that was too smart. Elphaba, no, it wasn't even the power. They needed the power. What they didn't need was the brain that Elphaba came along with. They needed the gullibility and the needing to be liked that was Glinda.
Exactly. That's what it was. They needed somebody who was, and so I didn't feel like I definitely struggled with Glinda as a character. I thought of her as like just shallow, privileged.
You're supposed to.
Okay. She was definitely craving popularity, but I didn't see her as a rival. And I don't see her arc as transformative. Right now I see her as a coward.
There's a lot more that will happen to her in the second book, second movie, second part. There's going to be more to her story.
Okay.
The first enemy is not always the last enemy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure what to make out of Fiyero. I don't see it as a love triangle. I think he's in love with Elphaba.
So Fiyero, it's interesting and like I said, it's been 20 years since I read the book. So Kelly, correct me if you remember. I thought the Prince Fiyero role in the book, he was blue.
Yes.
Yeah. The people like where he's from, the land or whatever, they're blue. But they didn't make him blue, I don't think, in the musical from what I remember.
No.
And so they adapted that into the movie where he's not blue, which I think adds a little bit of like camaraderie between them that, they're like, oh, they're the only like weirdly colored people. Where everyone else is like, I guess, a standard human skin tone, and then you have like
they
the blue
call
and
them
green.
dark skinned with blue diamond,
like tattoos,
right?
Yeah,
Interesting.
I thought he did a good job with the dancing and stuff, especially like in the library where he's dancing on the books and everything. I thought that was really well done. So,
yeah, I'm going to be interested to see how his story, like what his choices are next, and then the last person I'm concerned about is Bach, the boy who was crushing super hard on Glinda, but was steered towards Nessa Rose. Like it really, I don't know if it was just a fleeting moment on screen when they were saying goodbye and she was headed off to the Emerald City and she said, I'm going to get rid of the G for Dr. Dillamond, and I will now just be known as Glinda instead of Galinda. And he like fanboyed over her so hard, and the camera cut to Nessa Rose, and I think right there she was,
look.
Yeah, that look said, "All right, buddy."
Yeah,
I see your true colors, and I see like I'm just status to you. I'm a way to climb the ladder, the social ladder, and I'm not going to be used that way. I'm real angry in this case. So if you told me that Nessa Rose has a darker side, or is manipulated by Madame Morrible and learn some magic, but it has has her own nefarious plan. Like, I'm gonna get even. I'm gonna show you all. I could see that. Fiyero, if you tell me that he has a hard time choosing sides, or chooses a side and it's not popular, but his status keeps him alive, I would believe that. Outside of that, I'm really interested to see how you can see how the propaganda
right.
that's being,
the PR spin machine.
Yeah. But people who are close to Elphaba, they have to know, who this person is.
But what are you going to do? I mean, you have to be willing to speak up. And that's the thing. Elphie is the one that's willing to speak up.
Yeah. Boy, when she found her voice, she found the shit out of that voice.
So the actress who plays Elphaba is Cynthia Erivo, which I don't think I know she's done some movies, but I hadn't seen her in any movies. But I know she's got a really good reputation on like musicals and plays. I thought she did a really good job as playing Elphaba, because I was really worried on who was going to play Elphaba, because you got to be able to emote a lot.
I mean, and Dina Menzel kind of set that bar really high too,
and that was
right?
my favorite. Like, I love Adina, and I think Cynthia did a really good job.
Very powerful.
Really am looking forward to how they're going to portray the rest of this story in the second movie. And it's hard to talk about it without talking about everything that's going to happen. But there's a lot that's going to happen, and I'm curious to see how they're going to bring that together.
It's impressive too that they're releasing them a year apart. Like, they've worked really hard to close those gaps so that, it's fresh and available and whatnot for everyone. I didn't expect them to release the second one. I knew that they had filmed it back to back, but I didn't think they were going to release them back to back like that. That's almost unheard of.
I think, I may be misremembering, but I thought at the end of the first movie, it said the release date for the second movie.
They might have.
I think they planned it out.
It's still impressive.
Yeah, I agree. I think they almost filmed it all concurrently. Like, I think they did a lot of stuff at the same time.
Yeah. So. No, they did. They definitely filmed it back to back, and they were transparent about it at some point immediately after the first movie. But to me, it's still just astounding that they accomplished these two things in, 365 days. Usually, industries will milk it if nothing else.
And they'll wait to see if the first one's going to be good or get their money back before they put money into the rest of it or a sequel. So
no, I think they knew.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big names tied to this.
That's true.
And, I think the musical itself is such a cult classic in and of itself. I had not seen the play, and I was moved by the movie. Yeah. So I think that says a lot, that I think they had that feeling.
Well, the formula has changed. It used to be build all these things to support the movie. Now the movie becomes step one. All right, we have the movie, we have the story. Now let's bring people to the experience. And that's been a model that Disney's been perfecting, and that Universal has been working on too. And I think that even with, there's so many facets to this story that I think of the movies as a stage in the experience, like a step in the experience, but not necessarily the end goal.
Yeah. So Universal did their Wicked experience, which is located on the Universal Studios side at Universal in Orlando. Is it in California as well? Kelly, do you remember?
I don't know.
Well, I know it's in Florida, in Orlando. We've all done it. So it's basically like this walkthrough experience where, actually, before you even get into the experience, there's a little food stand outside. You can get your little Oz drink with your green glitter in it, which I did, and it was good. It was worth it. And then inside they had like different costumes and things from the movie.
From the movie, yeah.
Yeah, that you could really like get a good look at it, kind of see what it looked like in real life, a little feel for the characters, and then they had like different things, not props, but like merchandising from the movie that you could buy. I thought that was a fun little walkthrough experience. I mean, it's all part of your regular ticketed park thing. You don't have to like pay anything extra to go in. But if
Right.
you're in the park and you at all like Wicked, if you're going to Universal, then plan to do the experience for sure.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when you go into the experience center, it takes us, if I recall, it takes us through the journey, like through Shiz and then through, and you're in the, like you can step onto the, like the controls of the I want to say the mask. Yeah. The wizard face thing. And it's a story. They tell the story as you go through the gift shop.
Yeah, and you end up in
Pretty
Oz.
much.
Like Oz is like the very end. Yeah, takes you from Shiz to Oz. Absolutely. Like it even has like a little 3D replica model of the train that took them to Oz. And for anyone who doesn't know, when they get to Oz and there's the whole like show that tells you the backstory of the grimoire and like how the wizard came, like Idina Menzel and I cannot remember the name of the actress who played the original Glinda.
Chenoweth.
Yes, they were like the two characters in there who would like left the prophecy about the grimoire. I don't think I knew they were going to be in there when I first watched it.
think it was a surprise.
It was a happy surprise.
Yeah. I think there were rumors about it, but it was very unconfirmed and like nobody knew in what capacity.
Yeah.
But it was a delightful surprise.
Anything else anybody else wants to bring up before we come to our final question?
I think one of the things that I didn't like about the movie is that they changed some of the musical numbers somewhat.
Yes.
The original Broadway musical numbers. And I would say that I don't necessarily like soundtrack for the movie compared to the Broadway music. I think the Broadway musical numbers are better. Maybe it's just because that's what I was exposed to first.
So here's the question, and it may be a different answer for the book versus the musical versus the movie. So feel free to give answers for whatever version or all of those versions that you want. Is it a kissing story?
Not everybody go at first.
I mean, I don't think you can judge it based on the first movie.
Yeah, because it's half a story. I think I agree.
I agree. I don't have an answer. And so if I were to say based on the first one, no, but
maybe we need this to be a to be continued and we'll answer this after the second one.
Yeah.
I would like that because I'm not sold out on this yet. I want to see the second one, but
because we would have the answer in the book, right?
In the whole book,
Maybe.
yes.
Yeah, in the whole first book.
Right.
Okay. So I agree. I think we should hold off.
It's like you know half a story right now, basically.
Right.
You stopped halfway through the book. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good idea. Anything else about any of the Wicked stuff that we want to talk about before I wrap it up?
I think you guys did a great job.
All right.
Analyzing, going through the stuff, relating it to real time
Events.
Events.
Real life, yeah.
I was trying to find a word. Events is accurate.
we call it
Good job.
depression. We're on these.
Yeah.
Anxiety, depression. Yay. Everything is fine. This is fine. This is fine.
All fine.
Just that meme. If you are sad and depressed, tell somebody. Speak out.
Yeah. Talk to
Find
someone.
that.
Reach out. Absolutely.
And check in on your friends.
Yep. All right. So wrapping it up. Thanks for listening to us on Swords and Soulmates. Before we go, make sure to check out the show notes, rate, review, and subscribe to us on your podcast app of choice. It helps others to find us and lets us know what you're enjoying and want more of. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, or Goodreads at Of Swords and Soulmates. Check us out on our website, ofswordsandsoulmates.com. If you'd like to offer a suggestion for a future episode, book, or topic, feel free to reach out to us or DM us on any of those options. If you want to read along with us as we prep for a new episode or get chapter by chapter interaction, join our Fable app book club by searching for the Of Swords and Soulmates book club. And last but not least, we hope you'll join us in 2 weeks for our next episode when we will be talking about the 2025 Guillermo del Toro release, Frankenstein.
That was not creepy at all.
Not at all.
You crushed